Happy Good Friday to all of you. Happy Easter weekend. We've got a big show today, lots of news. We've got reviews of Super Mario Galaxy and the drama and a lot more. A lot more. Alan is waiting in the wings, and I have, just for this show, a very special guest who will intro Alan Ing.
Chris, of course, I know where Alan is, but I will play along. Alan.
What do you think about that? We got God to intro you.
Yes.
God.
He is risen indeed.
He is risen.
I love that AI replication of my room.
it's actually not that bad.
No, it's bad. It's awful.
No, but a good bad. We have fun with all this stuff. I'm excited because this weekend I'm doing almost nothing. And I will say this. There are a lot of stories in fiction that kind of rip off, there are derivative of Jesus and the Bible. Right here, I'm wearing a Flash Gordon inspired film threat shirt. Flash Gordon in the Sam Jones version, he dies in the movie. Everybody thinks he's dead. And then he rises. And Flash, they had graffiti in Mongo that said Flash lives. Superman recently, played by Henry Cavill, also died and rose.
I'm wearing my Krull shirt.
Your Krull shirt, and in Krull, I don't remember.
I don't remember if he dies, but
I don't
my
think
guess
that
is he
happens.
probably does.
I don't think it happens. But a lot of stories in fiction kind of borrow from the Bible. I mean, you would know better than I, Alan.
Yeah.
Well,
they did it as an homage to Jesus.
It's an homage to the Bible. It's an homage. Hey, let's get things started because we only have 2 films to review, but we have a lot of news. News you would not think there'd be a lot of news. Oh, it's slowing down. It's a holiday. No, lots of news. So here we go. Let's say hi to new members, Zodlander and Foolish American. Thank you so much. And John Smith, Hail Film Threat. Happy Easter to the chat community. And then we have another Troy Knoll member for 9 months. Good Friday. Good Friday blessings, Chris and Alan. Chris Coffee Pool, no cups. Desk is clean-ish. Wrong. 125 plus emails and ready for the weekend. Well, I'm on my second cup. The desk is not clean, and I'm almost through my emails. So there you go. And right here, why don't you read this one, Alan?
Yes, from Christopher Moonlight Productions. Happy Friday. Just got my hands on some hugely advanced AI for animation and VFX, plus some inside info about how Hollywood has no idea how to use AI for their productions. The iron is hot for indie film.
We're going to get Chris Moonlight on the show at some point for a deep dive interview about all this. We'll bring others on, both advocates and anti-AI people. Let's talk. I like to talk to people, whether I agree with them or not. I like to have a reasoned conversation.
And then we'll go on social media and tear them down like the little babies they are.
Yes. I find that lame. Anyways, and like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch at shop.filmthreat.com. You can get the very shirt I'm wearing for Easter now. The Retro Lives. Look at this. You've got a Krull-inspired shirt, Blockbuster Video. Here's the Flash Gordon one I'm wearing right here. Film Threat Earthlings. There's the shirt modeled by, I forget which intern this is. I'm not sure who that is, but pick up a shirt. Choose your color, choose your size, choose the design, and get a Film Threat t-shirt. Get one for yourself for Easter. Because Alan wears it. And thank you, Lord Thoth. We appreciate you. All right, let's get into it. We have a lot of news stories today. This is some good news. I was already thinking of going to see Project Hail Mary in the theater. And you can see it now with the director's commentary.
Ooh.
I'm a huge fan of director commentary. If you're an aspiring filmmaker, one of the things you can do is just listen to directors' commentaries. And Lord Miller did a commentary, and there's a new app. This is from the Project Hail Mary official X account. See Project Hail Mary again with the director's experience. Listen to commentary from directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller with the Theater Ears app beginning Friday, available only in theaters. Is it only in theaters, the app? I find that hard to believe.
No, you download the app, you listen to it while the movie's playing.
That's correct. So here it gives you instructions in case it's difficult. Download the Theater Ears app on your phone prior to the movie. Buy tickets to any showtime of Project Hail Mary. Open the Theater Ears app once you're seated. Enjoy the director's commentary in your earbuds synced to the movie on screen. I don't know. I don't want to encourage people to actually use their phones in a theater, but I am downloading this app.
Yeah, I'm doing that
just
now.
to hear the commentary. I mean, I plan to see the movie again because I want to see it in 70 millimeter, but that's pretty cool. I'm a huge fan. Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, that's how he said, look, my film school was director commentaries on Laserdisc at the time. So there you are, Alan.
I'm doing it.
You're going to get the app.
I'm seeing Project Hail Mary this weekend.
I'm not going to see it this weekend, but I am going to see it again before it's out of theaters. I think that Super Mario is in all the IMAX at this point. So there you go. We have some other space related stories, but I wanted to play this for our live audience. It's not often that we get a sponsor, and this is one that I want to tell you about. Let's watch. Here's my problem with modern sci-fi. It always cuts to black right when I start caring. Project Hail Mary, great. Humanity survives. Science wins. And then we're done. No, I want to stay in that universe. Drop me in a random star system. Low fuel, no plan. Let me figure it out. That's why Foundation Galactic Frontiers is interesting. Yes, that Foundation. Isaac Asimov. The guy who basically wrote the playbook Hollywood keeps borrowing. You're not the hero. No chosen one nonsense. You're a traitor. You explore, make deals, pick fights you probably shouldn't, and live with it. Meanwhile, you're running your ship, building it piece by piece, managing crew, resources, basically trying not to suffocate in deep space. Always a plus. And when things go south, they really go south. Ship combat, ground combat, because space wasn't dangerous enough already. What I like is the scale. You feel small. The universe feels huge, and no one's coming to save you. That's sci-fi. Check the link in the description or scan the QR code to download it. Mobile, PC, your choice. You'll get a free hero and battleship to start and use my code for extra resources. Because trust me, you're going to need the help. Movies end. This is where the story keeps going. Well, there you go. And as you know, Alan, I am a big fan of anything NASA related, space. We saw Project Hail Mary, of course, NASA. I actually bought the popcorn bucket for Project Hail Mary because it had a crew patch. I was so excited, but I'm not sure if you're aware, but we're going back to the moon.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Well,
my father helped get the first guy to the moon. So,
well, I think this child here that was at the launch of Artemis, he really spoke for a lot of people. Let's see what this kid had to say.
Why do you want to be here? Why do you love space? Why do you love being a part of history?
We're going back to the freaking moon. That's why.
Now, wait, did he?
Why do you want?
Did he say
what?
Wait. Did he say fucking or frickin'? Listen, I want to Zapruder this. What does he say?
Why do you love space? Why do you love being a part of history?
We're going back to the freaking moon. That's why.
Play that again.
I think he said frickin'.
I think he said fruckin'. Yeah, Mike
No,
MC
I
Wong
think
is
he
right.
said frickin'. But check this out. This is one of the astronauts. I love this guy. Should come to Hollywood. This astronaut. This is astronaut Victor Glover, and he talks about what it means to be part of this crew. And for those listening, Victor Glover is black, and there also is a woman on this space mission. Hear what he has to say. But I think Victor, who's to me a hero in my mind, because he's on this mission. I don't want to go to the moon.
Yeah.
Unlike Dr. McCoy, space is just too many things, too many ways you can die. But hear what he has to say.
It is a big question, and I want to highlight, I guess, maybe one.
He's being asked about being the first black man to visit the moon. This is what the question was to Victor Glover, astronaut who is black. Here's his response.
Facet of this is the tension, I call it. I live in this, this dichotomy between happiness that a young woman can look at Christina and just physicalize her passion or her interest, or even if it's not something she wants to do, she can just be like girl power, and that's awesome. And that young brown boys and girls can look at me and go, hey, he looks like me and he's doing what? And that's great. I love that. But I also hope we are pushing the other direction, that one day we don't have to talk about these first, that one day this is just, and I listen to this, that this is the human history. It's about human history. It's the story of humanity, not black history, not women's history, but that it becomes human history.
Okay. It is that's it. Mic drop. Well, if you were in space in 0G, you'd kind of let the mic go, would just float. But I love what he said. That is amazing. Alan,
no, absolutely.
What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, first, glad he's an American. So the Americans keep going to the moon.
yeah, for sure.
No, it's absolutely true. We just, I'm so tired of race being this first, that. I mean, look, at some point, everyone's going to be the first, whatever. Yeah, it's funny. I saw, so Tina Fey hosted the first episode of SNL UK, and she goes, just found out that I'm the youngest host ever to host.
No, it was. I watched her opening monologue for the UK SNL. It was funny. It was very good. Yeah,
I hate to say it, that show is better than US SNL at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, also I recommend Tina Fey wrote a book called Bossy Pants about her whole history and in comedy and improv, how she got the job at SNL and all her adventures. But I got to say, I've been just anything NASA I'm fascinated by. I think they spent like almost the last decade being obsessed with DEI and all of that. And now we've had so much space exploration now where they're talking moon bases, setting up a base on the moon. I've been collecting. This is Newsweek, an issue of Newsweek I have where this is where they go to the moon. There are pictures. And what's weird about this issue of Newsweek is that there's an article in here about climate change and we're screwed. So this was in the late 60s.
When was that? Yeah.
Came out. And by the 80s, civilization might be destroyed. Actual article in this. And then also I have behind here a replica of the Saturn V rocket that I bought on a Kickstarter years ago. It lights up. Oh,
well, there you go. There's Chris. Yeah, I'll just to continue on. Let me sorry, I'm just pulling something up here. That will be of interest. If I could do this fast enough. I was thinking Chris was gonna just keep talking. But yeah, almost there. I'm almost there. Here we go.
Yeah. So anyway,
I was just gonna show that this is my dad's rocket engine.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's the second stage rocket engine he worked on, obviously with other people, but he was one of the designers, engineer designers behind it. But that was second stage rocket on the Apollo rockets.
Well,
the Saturns.
look, it's such a great achievement for America. I love it because everyone can celebrate in the success of NASA. Everyone. And this achievement. Every American, and you know what? Every citizen of Earth. What we've achieved as a society, as a civilization, and what the future could hold. And I watched the Artemis 2 launch. I've got it. They've got the live feed. I just check in. What are they talking about? There was an interview this morning they did with ABC News, discussing their experience, and I'll be following it. I don't know. I love all this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but to the original point, I think what we should do is maybe we take skin gradations, scale it from 1 to 100, and then so you have a chance, 100, a 1 in 100 chance of being the first something. So you were the first gradation of 12 to have shopped at Walmart.
Sure.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Give everyone a chance. Come on.
Yeah, there we go. More news stories, and we'll get to your comments. Thanks for your patience. But this is some big news. J.J. Abrams is downsizing Bad Robot. Not only that, they're moving. It's the mass exodus of the industry. Here we go from Variety. J.J. Abrams to downsize Bad Robot. Production company to move from LA to New York. Alan, you've got the story. Give it to me. And then I've got some comments that you're going to find surprising.
All right. So the downsizing at J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot is not simply an internal company shift, but part of a broader recalibration happening across Hollywood. As studios become more cautious with spending, the era of massive open-ended deals with high-profile creators is giving way to tighter, more performance-driven agreements. Abrams' company, once backed by the lucrative overall deal with Warner Brothers, is now adjusting to a smaller first-look arrangement that reflects this new reality. This change represents a wider industry trend rather than a failure of Bad Robot itself. Studios are no longer willing to hand out blank check partnerships without clear returns, especially in the post-streaming boom landscape where profitability had become priority. As a result, production companies that were built to operate at a larger scale are now being forced to streamline their operations and to rethink how they develop and produce content. At the same time, Bad Robot is not being dismantled, but reshaped. The company continues to develop film and television projects, just with a reduced physical and operational footprint. In a sense, the downsizing plays less like a retreat and more like an adaptation to a film and TV industry that is becoming more disciplined, cost-conscious, and focused on sustainable outputs. Wow.
Well, yeah, look.
John Otterson is right up JJ's butt. All right,
this is a huge L for not only for JJ, whose last movie was The Rise of Skywalker in 2019, 7 years ago. 2019 was JJ's last movie. What have they done lately? I think once people saw that film, it really, like, the Emperor has no clothes. So he's killed two major franchises, Star Trek and Star Wars. Here's something from someone who worked at Bad Robot. From Ryan Parrott on X. I worked at Bad Robot for 3 years. The waiting room had art supplies, so visitors could be creative. The interns learned 3D printing and silk screening. We had communal meals with movie stars and shot pickups for movies in the theater. It was the greatest place in the world. And he, of course, says that J.J. Abrams scaling down Bad Robot as he moves to New York. And here's something that Fandom Pulse had to say, kind of posting something from, this is during 2020 when BLM happened. Why don't you read this, Alan?
Sure. Here you go. JJ Phantom Pulse, JJ Abrams, Bad Robot Company. Enough is enough. Enough police brutality. Enough outsized outsized privilege, enough polite conversation, enough white comfort, enough lopsided access, enough exhausting our friends and colleagues, enough being incurious, enough being unintentional, enough injustice, enough death, enough. Could this be why the company is downsizing and leaving LA?
Yeah, I mean, the comments, I mean, people, enough bad television movies from Bad Robot, I say. JJ lives such a privileged life. He has no idea what he's talking about. So basically, you're in no position to lecture the public about anything. The responses to this, look, victim card, you got, it's declined. Oh, I didn't see that coming. But this is what you get. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It's look, I don't feel sad at all. Two of the most beloved sci-fi and fantasy franchises of all time. Both of them are 50 years. Well, Star Wars almost 50 years. Next year will be 50. It's crazy. It's crazy that he took them, modernized them, and made them unpopular and basically drove them into the ground. So, and believe me, this might have something to do with the oppressive taxes that we're facing in California. Our current leadership seems to do nothing to benefit actual Californians. And we talk about this only as it applies to entertainment. But things are getting worse and worse here. They're already just saying LA is the new Detroit. Once beloved industry driven out by bad policy and bad movies. Alan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, LA has been spending, this is indicative of where Hollywood and LA and government was 5-6 years ago. They had so much money. And they just spent and spent and spent, nothing in return. A lot of these expenditures were on basically studies, all admin, nothing to show for it.
Yep.
I'm looking at the last 10 Bad Robot projects here. Duster is the last one. That was for HBO. Then they did the Batman Cape Crusader, which was supposed to be for HBO, but then Amazon bought it. Presumed Innocent, probably the only true hit or truly good show to come out of Bad Robot recently. Bunch of documentaries, and it goes all the way back to Westwood, which was probably the last thing they did that was popular. They got hundreds of millions of dollars to get these first look development deals, and from the last 10 years produced only 2 maybe good shows. It's then you read that text there, or that X tweet about the working conditions, how great it was. That's a company that had money to spend but couldn't make money to continue that. And so X was the same way back in Twitter. All these companies were just like hiring people who did nothing and then gave them gym membership, free breakfast, free meals. To say that this is not a failure of Hollywood, it is a failure of Hollywood, because they didn't know how to spend money. And now they're contracting, and now everyone's moaning and bitching about the fact that they don't get the perks they got anymore.
Well, I think part of it is they're leaving LA because I know where Bad Robot is. It's located off Cloverfield Boulevard. That's how they got that's the title of the movie. Cloverfield came from the street that the offices are located on, but they're leaving to escape taxes. And you can't even, a separate story, maybe we'll talk about it on Monday on Versus, Baywatch. There was so much, they got approval from the state, they got tax incentives, and then the city of LA came in and basically was nickel and diming. Baywatch is not being shot in LA. Baywatch, the new Baywatch.
Yeah, they should come down to Huntington Beach.
So it's utterly ridiculous. Bad policies of current leadership. You know who they are. Have driven out business. It's ridiculous. You gotta try something else. these people aren't working. We have to hire some different people in leadership that are business friendly, that maybe have some entrepreneurial experience. I've been an entrepreneur all my life, very small business. I make a modest living, but when you pay for your own stuff and when you pay taxes, you actually write a check to the government, changes how you look at things. You maybe are more responsible with other people's money. And I've done projects with other people's money, and I feel a great responsibility when I get an investor for a movie, my film here, my big fat independent movie. I raised money from investors, got $500,000 and made this film. It's coming out on Blu-ray this fall, new special anniversary edition. But I felt a great weight, like, oh, I have to be responsible with every dollar spent. I don't hear that from current leadership. This is why it's failing. This is why JJ is gone and the industry is spiraling into irrelevance. And we'll talk more about that in our CinemaCon coverage in a couple weeks, because I saw some facts and figures about the number of movies the studios are making. It's not looking good. We'll continue to look at the story. Yeah. Hey, one of the things we hope to get a look at when we go to CinemaCon is the DCU, maybe a deeper look at Supergirl. Who knows? Maybe James Gunn, who was there last year, will talk about Superman, Man of Tomorrow. But oddly, some people have thoughts. And the thought is DC turning into the KryptoVerse? This is from the official account for Supergirl. It says the center of our universe, Supergirl, only in theaters June 26th. And they posted this graphic, and it's pictures of the puppy version of Krypto. You've got Krypto, on Supergirl's chest, which was actually also a scene in Superman. This dog is kind of, will Krypto be in Lanterns or Clayface?
I hope so.
What are your thoughts on this, Alan?
Yeah. I mean, clearly Supergirl is not for us. Krypto is a cute little dog, so it's going for much more, I'll just say, feminine audience. And by making Krypto a puppy now, they're just leaning into it more and more.
Well, I look, I like dogs. I like little puppy dogs. I just think that your superhero universe, I mean, a cameo would be great, but Krypto is going to have more screen time in Supergirl than Superman. And it's cheap. I feel like it's cheap to use this as a crutch. What's her story? And we kind of get a sense of what it is from the trailers we've seen. She's a drunk, she's a mess, and then in the end she learns that she can rise above it. An evolution to is she something to aspire to? We shall see. But I just feel like this is the official account pushing this. You kind of see where it's going.
Yeah, we talked about it on Wednesday. Supergirl is a internal journey that Kara Jor-El is going to fight her way through. Good. Love superhero movies like that.
Hey, Ramayana is an epic Indian film. Well, actually, two films that are coming out that I got a preview of. I attended the screening, got to see the trailer in IMAX. The sound was I had to plug my ears. It was insane. The trailer now has dropped. You haven't seen it, Alan.
No, I haven't seen it. I know nothing about it.
Well, the Q&A is actually on our website with the director, filmmaker, and lead actor. It's I'll say it's really based in fables from India. And we got to, they took a selfie, which I thought was really great. So the producer is Namit Malhotra, actor Ranbir Kapoor, and director Nitesh Tiwari. We were at the AMC Burbank 16. They took a selfie. I think can I see myself in the selfie? I can't see myself. Anyways, I won't show this picture, but it was cool. We got a little making of. One thing I did not realize. So the filmmakers who are making this movie, their company does the special effects for the Dune movies. They work with Denis Villeneuve with, for all the Dune effects. Those effects look so real. So let's take a look at the trailer, Alan. I have it right here, but you see these Indian films.
Mhm.
Are you pumped for this?
Oh, pumped like a oh, never mind. Yeah, I'm pumped.
Well, it's like, look, we have our own lore, and lore, legends, stories in our country. And this is very, very Indian culturally speaking, but you just gotta see the trailer and then we'll react to it on the other side. Here we go. And they suggest wearing headphones because the sound is kind of insane. We'll crank it here, but turn it down. A warning. 2 parts here. It's coming out. Part 1 comes out during Diwali in 2020 this year, and part 2 comes out during Diwali in 2027. This is really India's Lord of the Rings. This story has been made, I think, almost hundreds of times. This has been made into a film. This is on an epic scale. By the way, Hans Zimmer does the music for it. So, and the fact that this company, DNEG, which is a VFX company, they did the effects for the Dune movies. I saw a lot more of it when I was at the event. Alan, what are your impressions based on what you've seen?
I mean, it's a very CG movie.
Yeah.
And you say that this story has been told 100 times. Guess how many of those stories I've seen? None of them.
Well, there've been a lot of where they, the effects were not clearly on the scale. I mean,
but let me just say, watching that though, get these guys to do the live action Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they'll nail it.
Look, here's Variety. Ranbir Kapoor unveiled as Lord Rama in trailer for Nitesh Tiwari's epic Ramayana. So we will keep doing updates. I did film the entire Q&A. I was gonna put it for members only. We do a lot of stuff for members. I did make it public because so many people requested they wanted to see it.
Look,
so Q&A.
Let's just be real. I mean, the movie looks amazing, but it does look overly CG. And let's just say that, my approach to watching Ramayana will be the same approach if I got all my Indian friends to watch Ben-Hur or the greatest story ever told. It's a cultural film, and there's a lot you have to. I don't know how much research am I gonna have to do going into this film.
Yeah, you will definitely have to, but it's the really brilliant. This is the Lord of the Rings of our country.
Mm-hmm.
This is an epic story about the culture, and RRR. I mean, RRR is still to me the GOAT. That's the best. Yeah. I've seen a lot of other Indian films since then. I think RRR is still the best. I mean, it's based on real, very exaggerated, but real history of India. So
yeah, I think that's that. I mean, if you're looking for global success, you're looking for stories that can reach a global audience. RR was able to do that. This one's going to be the tougher sell. I think so.
Yeah. Well, we shall see, because we're both going to go to it, and it's going to be 9 hours. I hope. I hope there's an intermission.
I mean, were you pretty pumped for it after the event, or how?
Yes, 100%. I saw a lot more behind the scenes. They had a little making of. It looks great.
All I know is we're gonna get a lot of hate comments for this.
Why?
Because I'm not 100% behind Indian stories like this. Look, I'm just telling you what I think. That's all.
All right. Hey, let's go to your comments, and we have a couple more news stories. We'll get to reviews. It's gonna be a little shorter show today because of the holiday. Let's go.
Yes, from Chicken Wing for $19.99. Number one, how am I the only one to see the Fantastic Four when I see the Artemis crew? I mean, the leader is named Reed. My brother works for NASA and says Victor is an asshole. They call him Ike behind his back. I know everything.
Oh, well, he did give a very good speech.
Yeah.
He did give.
But I think the fear is when he goes to the moon, he'll come back with superpowers.
Right.
Tim is not funny. I saw this clip earlier and was sure it was fucking, but now it's clearly frecking.
It is. I think it's fricking.
The latest.
I think the kid kind of knew. I'm on TV.
Yeah, or his parent. He needs better parenting. MK Solid 82 for $4.99. Can Alan say, "Save your pity for the weak" in an angry tone, followed by the gong? Thank you.
Wait,
and then you play the.
We
gong.
need to. Let's do this correctly, because MK Solid is a fan of the show. He's a fan and friend of the show.
Okay, let me get the.
So let's do this. I have to scroll down.
Yeah.
Alan, when you're ready.
Okay, here we go. Save your pity for the weak.
Very, very well done.
Okay, Re and
Thanks,
Me
MK.
for $4.99. If Supergirl takes place before Superman, that means no character development because she's still drunk when she appears at the end.
Oh, that's right. At the end of Superman, so maybe it happens before that.
Well, maybe she recovers, but then goes to college, and then no.
Who knows? But the thing is, will she take Plan B during Supergirl? The Plan B scene was cut. They had a cut scene where her and Lobo, and then they need to go out and get Plan B. It's gonna be weird. Thank you, Re and Me. Hey,
hey,
$49.99 from Nandy 000. Look at this.
Yeah, Ramayana is a story where the seventh avatar of Lord Vishnu, Ram, is exiled from his kingdom along with his brother Lakshmana and his wife Sita. We'll go over his war with Lord Ravana.
Evil Lord Ravana.
Evil Lord Ravana. Generalize this because don't want to go over why he was exiled.
Well, I think, first of all, Nandy, thank you for the 50. That was generous.
Yes, thank you.
I think everybody knows that. I mean, that's well known. That's common. But look, I've always liked, I grew up, I watched a lot of Asian cinema, Japanese films, starting with Toho movies. And then when I got older, got a car, could drive, went to see foreign films like French films. So I like seeing how another culture sees itself. I like seeing stories that are purely like of that country and culture. And I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
That's part of why I like to live in LA, because there's so much. I mean, you can get the best Mexican food, Korean food, like Chinese food, like Indian food. Like there's all, and look, I just want to go to a restaurant where no one speaks English. I know the food's going to be good.
Yeah, I've been to many of those. Yeah, I'll just say I don't know the story, and I'm Asian.
Yeah, why don't you know?
I don't know.
I don't like how they sort of put Asian in with Indian.
Yeah, let's put
get
this.
it.
If you go to India, no one there refers to themselves as Asian. They'll refer to themselves as Indian. In Pakistan, they'll refer to themselves as Pakistani. But to that point, I mean, look, there's a big Indian population. I live at least within 10 miles of 5 Indian restaurants. The only reason the Fullerton AMC, they're the only ones showing Indian films, and they're always packed.
More comments here. We'll get through these and we'll get to our reviews.
John Who gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean Who. Appreciate you.
Man Chicken. Why would you move from California to New York to avoid taxes? It's every bit as mismanaged as California. Yeah, I find that the odd move from Bad Robot.
Yes, they're
I'm sure
maybe
he's
there's
from-
an incentive. Who knows?
I'm
But
sure he's from New York. Or
yeah,
Bill S. Preston, Esquire. Phoebe Waller-Bridge got like $50 million from Amazon and produced nothing. Yep.
well, that's Gavin Newsom is also has that in common with Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah. Tim is not funny. JJ used to have crazy good reputation. I loved his stuff from Alias to Lost and the first Star Trek reboot. Generational fall off after that. Yeah, 100%. He wrote regarding Henry, one of my favorite Harrison Ford movies. Mike MC1, Bad Robot is becoming Broke Robot.
That is true. Hey, Mike, good to see you.
Garth Knight Returns. People have just figured out that JJ has no original ideas, just copied ones.
That is true. 100%. Another comment.
Yeah, Lost. What is Lost? It's Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Garth Knight Returns. I'm glad we're not outsourcing our astronauts.
Heck yeah.
Musa Phonic Recording. The first woman on the moon was actually Alice.
There you are. Hey, let's talk about Super Mario. And Alan, not sure if you're aware, but Super Mario has a message for us. I think it's important we look at this message before we talk about Super Mario. I really want you to hear this. It's an important message. Before
I'm Captain Lou Albano talking about
to see the Super Mario movie, you need to hear this. Okay?
Okay.
Let's watch together.
Oh, we're watching.
Yeah, it's short.
I'm Captain Lou Albano talking about drugs. Kids, don't be afraid to say no. Anyone that asks you to use drugs is not your friend. Drugs can and will kill. Remember, don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
Did you hear that? You go to hell.
You go to hell. That's pretty good.
You go to hell.
You go to hell before you die.
There's us.
That's pretty good theology.
What just happened?
Yeah. Look at my face. Look at that.
And let's see. Let's actually get to our review of Super Mario. Alan, did you see the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
Yes, I did.
Let's talk about it.
All right. What is that?
That is not what we wanted. It's okay. It's okay.
All right, there we go. All right.
Let's do it. Let's start. Alan, what'd you think of the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
Yeah, well, when I was a kid playing Super Mario at the arcade, I'm just finally glad Super Mario Galaxy has come because this is exactly what I envisioned when I played the video game. So let's get back to it. At the end of the first movie, Bowser has been defeated. He has been shrunk. Princess Peach and Mario now living in the Mushroom Kingdom, and all is good. But Peach is trying to figure out where she came from. She has visions of what appears to be her sister Rosalina, and so one day, realizing that how stable and well run the kingdom is, she puts Mario in charge while she goes out to look for her sister Rosalina. Meanwhile, Bowser Jr., the tiny little tyke, decided that he's going to fulfill his father's vision, which was creating this giant world with a giant cannon that will destroy the universe. But the only way to power such a magnificent weapon is through the power of the princess Rosalina. And so Bowser Jr. kidnaps her, attempts to drain her powers. But can Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach and Tiny Bowser defeat Bowser Jr. and save the day? And so they have to go on a wacky adventure in order to get there.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I was not looking forward to this movie. The trailers did not intrigue me. I did not love the first movie. I thought it was another Illumination, like ADHD, in your face. We're afraid you're going to be bored, so we've got to like throw stuff at you the entire movie. And I can't deny it. I had fun. It's not a great movie. but it's a good time. I did see the movie with I'd say like maybe a third or more of the audience were kids, which is the target audience for this movie. And there's some really good cameos. There's one I really want to talk about that's from the early, 8-bit NES days. There's a great cameo. Let's not ruin it. But another cameo I really love was Fox McCloud, Glenn Powell as Fox McCloud, who was actually really good. I love Star Fox. It really brought back the memories of the early Nintendo. I don't have a Nintendo system now. I just have a PS5. I have some retro emulator I could use to play. But my favorite Mario game is Super Mario 64. It is bar none the best music, and that's another part of the movie. The music, Nintendo has a way of getting like a 15 or 20-second loop of music that you could listen to for hours. It's weird. There's something about this whimsical, fanciful music on a loop that isn't boring. Super Mario 64 I finished that game. It was so playable to finally see Mario in 3D in that game. I mean, it's kind of crude now, but it was fantastic. And the voice acting in the movie was like Luis Guzman, who I've always liked. He plays Wart. I mean, it was good. It was good. Brie Larson as Rosalina.
She was good. Yeah.
And then stay to the very end. There's like a mid-credit scene and a post very end of the movie credit scene that are fun, and they kind of set up a third one. They're building obviously to Super Smash Brothers, but all this did was go, I kind of really want to play Star Fox now. I really want to play Super Mario 64, which I can probably get on my phone. But you can't, there's something about that controller was so innovative at the time. All this was member berries about playing great video games. Nintendo is the Bowser Jr. relationship was funny. It was actually funny. I enjoyed that aspect, but played by like Jack Black and Betty Safdie as Bowser Jr. I still do not like Chris Pratt as Mario. It was jarring in the first movie. Kind of warmed up to it, and Yoshi was great. He was fun to have around. So not a great movie. Probably won't see it again. Had a good time. Made me want to play games. It's a giant commercial for Nintendo. So it gets a bare recommend from me, but this is a movie for kids. I think that's the problem I have with Illumination. Their movies are really for kids, whereas the Pixar movies, or at least when Pixar was at its height, were more for kids and adults. Alan, what do you think?
That's my biggest point here. I think Illumination is the standard now for animation.
Yeah,
for computer animation. Pixar is long gone. That said, I have the same feelings about Super Mario Brothers Galaxy that I did with Hoppers. It's a kids movie. It's not a family movie. It's for kids. I found myself. I think what I enjoyed were the bright colors and the cool worlds, but that's not enough. The story was, story's okay. If I were, let's put it this way, if I could write this story, it's not a good story. And that's kind of how I felt. I could have done this.
The story is weak. It's about the experience and the characters.
Right.
The way they worked in Fox McCloud, I thought was very good.
Right. I think what I like about this one better than the first one is there's a sequence that feels much more like the video games, especially the arcade games. I wanted more like that. But in terms of and also I spent the extra money and watched in 3D. Don't do that. Just watch it normal.
You did?
Yeah.
No.
It was only $4. It was $4 from Regal. So
Why'd you do that?
I know it's a bad decision, especially when you're eating what was I eating? Chicken fingers. It's a bad decision to make, but I did anyways. But I will say, illumination is now the gold standard when it comes to animation. Storytelling needs to be worked on, but this movie far exceeds where Pixar is at today.
And I'll say this, I agree with you. This is better than the first movie. This is the first movie. I was just like, I was just not into it. Chris Pratt, that did not work for me. This is more of an ensemble film. It's definitely like filled with so many cameos and even musical themes. I'm like, oh, that's from this level on that, like I'm sitting here hearing the music really made it for me too. The music, the cameos, that's really what this is like, do you like Nintendo stuff? We got a lot of it, and that one reference we talk about from NES days was great.
I was like, what is that? And I go, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. I had one and it never worked right. I ended up reselling it. I just sold it, and you can pick those up. But yeah, so I guess we're recommending it.
I'm if you have kids that are into this, I mean, my daughter will not see this movie. Could not drag her to see.
Really?
Yeah, because she hasn't played Mario video games, and she doesn't like Chris Pratt.
Okay, well, there's a reason, but you recommend it as well. It's just like
if you have kids, there'd be no way I would see this movie if I didn't have kids.
Well, I saw the film with my daughter, and she really loved it, and we had a good time. So I recommend it. Definitely, if you go with like family, this is definitely a family movie. The one thing, last thing I'll say,
it's a kids movie. It's not a family movie.
It's a kids movie, not a family movie. But I will say, I was never bored. I mean, every second it was like the next thing and the next. It was like I didn't get bored. And it's just over 90 minutes, so you're in, you're out.
See, that's the thing. The boredom that you didn't experience was basically ADHD type.
That's what I mean.
I still need a story that I can latch onto, and this one, no, it's just it's like you're leveling up from the video game. The accomplishments are great. You accomplish things, but they don't mean anything in the long run.
Yeah, well, the weakest part is the script. I mean, there were jokes that were written that were just, people were not laughing at the jokes. They were laughing at the visual humor.
Yeah.
So look, it gets a bare recommend if you go with family, and if you're a fan of the games, you will love it. If you're not, this is a waste of time. Let's go to comments.
All right. From Matthew Hammond.
Wait. Before we go to comments, I got to show you something. Grace Randolph claims that Bowser and Bowser Jr. are toxic males. Well, I mean, they are the antagonists. I won't say the bad guys. I mean, Bowser, his alliance is kind of split here. This clip, I don't know where we should cut it off, but and by the way, I watch Grace Randolph. I like to know what she thinks.
Makeup. Too much makeup here.
You know what? I think it's very complimentary. We don't know what she looks like without makeup. I like to watch Grace Randolph. She's got.
I'm just saying. I've seen other shows with Grace. She's put on for this episode. She put on too much makeup.
All right. Well, let's just see what she has to say about Bowser and Bowser Jr. Let's see.
Continue to feel that Bowser and now Bowser Jr. are a little bit too actually evil. Like it goes beyond cartoon villainy. I think maybe because they kind of mimic like the toxic manosphere that is like, I don't know if it's becoming more and more popular, if it's maybe finally reached its breaking point. But I see a lot of similar talking points there. And the movie at first seemed like it was going to be a journey of redemption in that regard, but I was surprised that they decided to not do that, right? I was like, what are you therefore trying to say? Like, they're certainly not the first cartoon villains to kidnap a damsel in distress, but for some reason, it feels a lot worse here. And then, well, of course, it was very touching to see Bowser and his son bonding. How can you cheer that on when they're bonding over like genuinely evil activities? I guess I think the difference is that in other fantasy stories, villains are villains, and usually pretty inept ones. Like you're always, they're going to be defeated in the end. But Bowser and co, they're more effective than your typical cartoon villain, and the audience is asked to sympathize with them, laugh with them, and relate to them, right? It's like if in Silence of the Lambs, they were like, Buffalo Bill's actually a pretty cool guy to have a drink with. And you were like, yeah, but we can't get over the but, I think. All right. So then with the princesses,
all right,
let's
stop it right there. Let's stop it right there. And by the way, also, I just heard breaking news. Bowser is doing Joe Rogan. So he'll be on Joe Rogan to kind of talk about maybe
foray into the manosphere.
Bowser he's in the manosphere now. He's doing Joe Rogan, and he's going to talk about being toxic. Here's the weird thing. The modern lens put on entertainment. I'm talking about not the movies. The movies, put the movies aside, but the modern lens looking at the movies sees things that may not be there. You're seeing things that may not be there. Look, they're just the antagonists. I mean, they are entertaining. They're evil in this, in a sense. They are supposed to be. Oh my God, this is an utterly ridiculous take.
By the way, breaking news: Nintendo has gone full woke, and you will not be able to play as Bowser or Bowser Jr. in video games in the future.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Alan, what are your thoughts on this and Grace's comment?
I mean, come on. Look, I've seen Grace Randolph's posts. Oh God, I feel like I need to formulate this thought more, but the idea that you can't have villains or that children are so stupid that they can't decipher good things versus bad things, what's evil, what's not. We have to handhold them. I'm starting to just continue my kick on children are a lot smarter than we think they are.
Yes, they are.
And they get it.
Yes, they are.
They get it, and they want to have fun, and they understand what evil is. Yeah, I sympathize with him, so therefore I want to do it. No, I feel like people who go that far for very specific reasons, and that this is just a bad take. It's an absolute bad take.
It's a bad take, and we'll leave it at that. Let's go to comments from people, starting with Soups here.
I'm just saying she looks, she just backs off the makeup a little bit. She looks more attractive.
Let me stop you right there, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Let me stop you right there. We don't know what she looks like without makeup.
I understand, but we've seen enough of her on her show to know that there are levels of makeup she uses. She uses too much in this one.
I think she's fine. The thing is, women like to dress in what makes them is flattering for them. Mm-hmm. I think she's fine.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I see my crow's feet here on the video, and I'm like, I understand why she does it. Matthew Ham for 2. Mario Galaxy used Mario music this time.
Used more Mario music.
Yeah, and they did more Mario video game type sequences. Matthew Ham for 2. The future Star Fox movie is going to be fun.
It's going to be like a cartoon Star Wars for kids.
And quite frankly, I like Brie Larson better than Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes.
Dark Sith 87 member for 41 months. Have we been doing it that long?
Wow. Thank you, Dark Sith 87.
Thank God it's Film Threat. T-Gift.
Thank you so much.
Sons and Shadows cast for 2. Chris, no popcorn bucket.
Hey, no room. I'm saving it for Dune Part 3. And if there's a Dr. Doom bucket, I'll probably get that.
Mm-hmm. Richard Alexander for 5.
1138. That's a reference to THX 1138.
Okay. The score was frustrating. Felt like they could only sample 5 seconds of any source theme and didn't expand on it.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Now we have a real debate going on about the music.
Yeah.
Andrew 12344545. What's wrong with the 3D? Nothing special about it. It was fine. if you're gonna do if you're gonna do 3D, if you're gonna spend the money, do 3D effects. And I think the real 3D effects, where it kind of comes out at you from the screen, didn't happen until the end of the movie. Our own Sharman. It's very appropriate. Super Mario Galaxy got re-released around Easter, as it is basically Easter Egg the movie.
And Aaron, you're correct.
Bill S. Preston Esquire, Super Babysitter Galaxy. Yeah,
true.
I'll say this. Yesterday, I saw an afternoon screening of the drama, and got out, and the lobby was full of children. It's going to make a lot of money this weekend. Davina Duckworth, it's me, Mario.
Thanks, Davina Duckworth. All right, we have one last film to talk about today, Alan. The Drama. You and I both saw this film. It stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in a campaign. I want to talk about the marketing of the campaign for a second and give them credit. We've seen these weird posters. You see Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Pattinson looks like he's been in a fight. He's covered in blood. They don't look happy on their wedding day. So have you seen weird posters and photos of them to promote this movie? The trailer, and I have to give them a compliment, doesn't give up what the movie is really about. And we will not either, because that's a big spoiler. And part of the enjoyment of the movie is learning what this is.
Yeah.
So we will not discuss that, but I'll just get into it real quick. Emma and Charlie, played by Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, they're an in-love couple. We see them in the beginning. There's a meet cute where he pretends to have read a book he hasn't actually read. He learns about her that she's deaf in one ear. He finds it endearing. I didn't mean to say that, but I just did. They go out on their first date. He's in the midst of writing his speech that he will give at the wedding about what he loves so much about Emma. They have two friends. They're a married couple. They're about to be married. Rachel and Mike, played by Elena Haim and Mahmoudou Athi. And you kind of see through flashbacks their beginnings of their relationship, building up to the moment where they're doing a tasting of some food at dinner. They're tasting wine. They get really trashed. I mean, drunk. And Rachel wants to play a game. She's like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And they each reveal the worst things they've done in their lives. And when it comes to Emma, upon revealing what the worst thing she ever did in her life was, leaves everyone shocked. Rachel, who is going to be part of the wedding.
She's the maid of honor.
She's like, ends up ghosting her friend. Mike can't believe what he's heard. And Charlie, who's about to marry this woman, Emma, upon hearing what she's revealed as the worst thing she's ever done, like completely begins to question everything about who she is. What is her character? What who is this person I'm marrying? Kind of going back in his head about her. We then begin to see flashbacks of Zendaya's character, Emma, as a young 15-year-old girl who was not as attractive as Zendaya is now, but just a typical 15-year-old. And we see kind of some of this play out, what it is that she did, which is a whole other, and we are not going to reveal. It's a big spoiler. I think would ruin the enjoyment of the movie. All this builds up to the wedding where things just are revealed and unfold. And I'll just say this movie is going to make people really uncomfortable because it begins as like a fun romantic comedy. Like, oh, great. I love these two people, want to see them be happy and in love, and then devolves into a dark comedy that goes, the black humor in this is, especially with the subject matter, is so well handled. This director, who unfortunately I've never heard of him. Christopher Borgli, a Norwegian director, very purposeful, so well directed. And there's not a wasted shot in this thing. It's not overly long too. It's about an hour, 45 minutes. And the whole thing is building up to the wedding after this reveal. And frankly, I love the cringe, the uncomfortable aspects of it. I love the relationship between Emma and Charlie. You know, they have these cute things they do. You see it in the trailer where they pull down each other's pants. They're standing there being very serious, sitting there in their underwear as their pants have been pulled down. I like movies like this that swing for the fences. This could not have been made for a lot of money. It's not hugely expensive film. It's the kind of drama that Hollywood used to make. And I like dark humor. This is like if David Lynch made a romantic comedy, or anyone that would explore dark areas. And the subject it does reveal really is that aspect is very serious. I think is very well handled. And everything is like, there are reveals that come out at the wedding involving Emma's father that even tell you more about what we've seen. I loved it, but it's not for everyone. You are there, and I promise you, people are going to go to this movie and say, that was amazing. And other people are going to say, that's the worst movie of the year. Both ends of the spectrum are fair. I, for one, you know me, if you've been watching the channel for a longer time, you know I like stuff that's weird and different. I loved it. So, and I'm getting a call now. Alan, what'd you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I love this movie. So Christopher Borgli, he did Dream Scenario with Nick Cage.
Oh,
remember
okay.
the one where Nick Cage appears in other people's dreams?
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's the same vein. What this movie is essentially Curb Your Enthusiasm, but as more of a romantic drama,
right?
Because it's really about. I mean, if you think about it, there's not a lot of, it's a talking movie. The revelation is through a conversation. The effects of it are all done through conversations. It's the fact that when this revelation occurs, just how it's like that moment you find out for a progressive, that moment you find out your best friend voted for Trump. It's kind of like one of those moments, and you just see this devolving friendship, this devolving storyline, and quite frankly, I mentioned it last time, but to me the best movies are the ones that you're engaged with from start to finish. Every scene you're just like, what's going on here? What's going on there? Oh my God, this is happening. This movie is all about that. It is, if you just embrace the story, take out the moral ramifications of the reveal, you see how it's so easy for us to instantly on a dime reject a friend, to then try to resolve things in your head. For Charlie, he has to resolve the revelation in his own mind and decide whether he truly loves Emma or not. The other thing I like about this movie is it's very stylized in the way it's shot. You know how you go into a scene and the scene starts off with something casual, and then over time in that scene, you ultimately get to the point. Well, this is shot where every scene just gets to the point. So you're I do this in improv comedy all the time. I don't necessarily like setting up a scene. I like to just start the scene at the meat and bones of it. This is what the scene's about. And that's what this movie does, scene after scene after scene. It just gets to the point. And so every scene, as you say, is never wasted because it says something about the story going down. The other thing here is Zendaya, I would say, gives a fairly typical Zendaya performance. Pretty good, though. Robert Pattinson, his portrayal of Charlie is so specific.
Oh, it's so good.
It is. I mean, he is truly the everyman. And the everyman with a anxiety, a characteristic of anxiety that we can all relate to. You know, I'll just say it's the one who it's that character trait that, you know, always tries to find, you know, basically always tries to find the good in the situation, but is fails to figure out how to do that. And I really loved Pattinson's performance in this. He look, of the two of them, he put in the best performance, or the more nuanced performance. Zendaya, I think, knew exactly what her character needed to be, and she did it. Alana Haim, boy, I hated her character.
Yeah, same here. I did not.
I mean, let's just say she knew she needed to be unlikable, and she pulled it off.
She's really unlikable. And I will say, just Zendaya, best thing she's ever done. This movie is the best.
Shake It Up.
This is like, I've seen her in other things where they try to push her. She is now top tier actress.
Yeah.
And Pattinson, we've seen him be good before. This, I think, may be one of the best things he's ever done. So even if you don't like the movie, the performances of them as a couple is so good. This could be an award season film.
Yeah, this is I don't know about that, but it's definitely a
we'll see.
Yeah, I mean it's very good. It's very good. But yeah, we'll see. I think the subject matter, I think the reveal is going to be a big issue.
Yes. And the movie is not going to be for everyone. Let's just say that. But I strongly recommend it if you like films that swing for the fences and don't just give you your typical rom-com. This is not a typical rom-com. And we'll have you talk. I actually really want to see it again. Oddly.
Yeah. Well, I would see it again at home. Definitely.
No,
but
that's fine.
But look, let's get to just the Zendaya issue. Sure, she's in too much stuff. But our job is not to say, wow, she's been in so much stuff, I have to, we're going to pass on this. We have to judge the movie based on the movie itself. And she does a really good job in it.
Yeah, same. I agree. This is the best performance of her career, and can't wait to see what she does.
Outside of Shake It Up, yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, I mean, it's like, when you have kids, they watch the same show over and over and over again, and Shake It Up was on that rotation. Her and Bella Thorne, and I'm like, okay. So I have a different opinion of Zendaya than most people have.
Well, look, if you want something different, this is the movie for you. Mm-hmm. Let's go to comments.
All right. Let's see. LJ Films season 1 for $1.99. Thanks to the person who gifted me a membership.
Oh, thank you to that person.
Mike MC1. Alana Haim was very annoying. Yes, she was. Again, like as good as it gets. Is it? Never mind. I'll just go on. Tim is not funny. Spoiler: she voted for Trump.
Funny.
Could have been.
Yeah.
That could have been it. Brock Samsonite, dark humor, Chris. Black humor, Jesus. No, he's saying you called it black humor, and he's saying it's dark humor.
Well, I said both, actually.
Yeah, I know you did.
I said both. So there you go. But that's going to wrap it up for us today. I said we do a short show, and we did. Have a great weekend, everyone. Want to say
happy
thanks.
Easter. Happy Good
to
Friday.
Thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, Olikwe on Rumble, and happy. I know a lot of people don't say this stuff. Happy Easter, Merry Christmas. We say all the things here. Anything else?
Yeah, and happy Diwali when it comes up.
When is Diwali?
I have no idea. I
Let's
know a movie's coming out at that time.
Well, we're going to see that movie.
Yes.
We're going to see that movie. So
yes, I've already marked off 5 hours to see that movie.
It might be 9. It might be 9. Have a great Easter weekend, everyone. Oh, wait, something came in last minute.
Bruce Leroy Jenkins.
Well, we have to go full screen for this. There's no way we can't.
Bruce Leroy Jenkins. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2.
Hey, if it brings in 2, I'm all about it. Alan, what do you have to say? Have a good Easter. Take care,
Yeah, you too.
everyone.
And let's get out of here.